Hello, I'll be reviewing this book today called Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep by Philip K. Dick. So, this book is basically set up on Earth after World War Terminus happens, which has caused a lot of destruction on Earth. And people have been moving to Mars since Mars is colonized, and they've been incentivized to move to Mars. So they're given androids. Earth is in ruins and there's a lot of dust. So the health of people on Earth is obviously affected by it. Animals are really in a bad condition. Most of them are have gone extinct, and those who are not yet extinct are still hard to find. Because of that reason, animals have become a status symbol, and they're really expensive, but people feel the need to have it. And this need of people to have those animals, have those expensive animals, it's not really justified. They're not really having any use of that animal, but they want to have it as a status symbol. And that's the way the author is trying to show how humans tend to feel the need for the things that are not at all contributing to a better life for themselves. So these androids that are given to people moving to Mars, they've been illegally escaping Mars and coming back to Earth. And on Earth, they're hunted down by the law. So there's not a lot of information on how things are going on Mars, and I feel that's intentional. And author wants the reader as well as humans living on Earth at that time to perceive Mars as some kind of utopia and some place where they could go and their lives might be better there, they might be happier there, and that's the kind of perception that generally humans tend to have for something that they don't have or something that they can't get. But later we realize how even Mars in this book is not a happy place. The humans as well as androids are lonely, and that's the question I think that is brought up by this book is, even if we colonize Mars, even if we have androids almost indistinguishable from humans, even at that point of technological advancement, humans are still feeling depressed and lonely. So, is that advancement even worth it in that case? But the protagonist, Rick Deckard, is a bounty hunter and he hunts down, or as they say, retire the androids that have been roaming around on Earth illegally. And they have, so the androids basically are very hard to distinguish from humans at this point of time. They're created organically, and the only test is the bone marrow test, which could, for 100% with 100% surety, can say if that is an android or a human. One of the things that Rick Deckard has observed during his job hunting androids is that they fall into a state of resignation once they see that they are going to die or someone is going to kill them. And that sort of resignation is impossible to find in a human who's been evolved on survival. So let's talk about the two main characters, or we can say one is the protagonist, the other one is a personal favorite of mine. So let's talk about Rick Deckard first. So he's the bounty hunter around whom the entire story is revolving, and the fascinating thing about this book is, even though it's a science fiction, the author has invested a lot in the characters and the self identification, self recognition, self awareness. He has put a lot of focus on that, as we can see from Rick Deckard and Isidore. So, Rick Deckard, throughout the novel, is trying to understand himself, trying to understand his work, trying to understand androids, trying to understand Mercyism, which is basically the religion that they're following at this point in on the earth. He goes through a lot of phases. He starts from excitement for his work, and then he goes uh, into a phase of doubt for everything, and then he goes into a certain depressed state when he says to his wife that maybe this is how you feel, because when you're that depressed, it doesn't even matter to you if you feel better, because you don't have that sense of self-worth at that point. You are that depressed, and that's a kind of curve of feelings and emotions any human might experience who's trying to understand things. So Isidore is one of the chickenheads on Earth, and chickenheads is a term given to the people with low IQ on Earth, and he's an innocent soul, and he's led a terribly lonely life, as when he finds those androids and he says out loud to himself that maybe they're exploiting me. Still, he keeps on helping them and getting exploited, because that's how lonely he has been. And that's the condition of humans that the author is trying to show us. So I definitely enjoyed reading this book, and it is the kind of book that has so many facets to it, and it'll make you think about those things. So try it out and let me know what you think about it. Bye bye.